Hey everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Never Give Up. This isn't about loud, in-your-face motivation. It's about finding that quiet strength inside you. Today, we're diving into something I think we all struggle with, the difference between giving up and taking a break. How many times have you been completely exhausted, running on empty, and thought to yourself, I just can't do this anymore? I quit. That feeling is so heavy, isn't it? It feels like failure. But what if I told you that hitting the pause button isn't the same as hitting the stop button for good? What if resting is actually the most productive thing you can do? Let's get this straight. Giving up is surrender. It's closing the book on a dream, a goal, or a project and never opening it again. It's born from a belief that you're not capable, that it's impossible. Taking a break, on the other hand, is a strategy. It's an intentional pause to recharge, regroup, and come back stronger. It's not about abandoning the path. It's about pulling over to refuel so you can finish the journey. Think about it like this. Athletes don't train 24/7. They have rest days. Why? Because that's when their muscles actually repair and grow stronger. Our minds, our creativity, and our spirits work the same way. When you push yourself past your limits without any rest, you head straight for burnout. And burnout is what truly leads to quitting. It is a state of total physical and emotional exhaustion where you genuinely feel like you have nothing left to give. Breaks are the antidote to burnout. They are the moments that save us. A break can be as simple as a 10-minute walk outside, a weekend completely offline, or even a month-long sabbatical to gain a new perspective. During this time, you're not failing, you're processing, you're healing. You're allowing your subconscious to work on problems in the background. Often, the biggest breakthroughs come after you've stepped away and given your mind space to breathe. So many of us are scared to slow down. We think that if we pause, we'll lose our momentum, that we'll be left behind. But that's a myth. Your path is your own. You can absolutely pause without losing your way. In fact, taking a moment to look at the map, to check your compass, makes it far less likely that you'll get lost. It allows you to continue with intention, not just frantic, mindless motion. So the next time you feel that overwhelming urge to just throw in the towel, ask yourself, do I really want to quit, or do I just desperately need a break? Is this the end of the road, or do I just need to pull over at the next rest stop? Give yourself permission to slow down. Honor your need for rest. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of wisdom. It's the quiet strength that keeps you going for the long haul. Resting is not quitting. It's a vital part of the process of not giving up. Thank you so much for tuning in to our first episode. I hope this gave you something to think about. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and join us for the next one. Take care of yourselves. Welcome to the second series of Never Give Up. Our tagline is not loud motivation, just quiet strength. This series is for anyone who feels like they're failing right now. I want to talk about redefining failure, seeing it as feedback, not as your identity. It's a strange thing, isn't it? We all know that failure is a part of life. We see it in movies, we read about it in books, but when it happens to us, we feel so alone. We tend to fail in silence, hiding our struggles behind a brave face. It's like there's this unspoken rule that we have to pretend everything is okay, even when it feels like our world is crumbling. Why is that? Maybe it's because we tie our self-worth so tightly to our achievements. When we don't succeed, we don't just feel like we failed at a task. We feel like we are a failure, but what if we could change that? What if we could untangle our identity from our outcomes? Let's be clear, failing does not make you a failure. It's a moment, an event, a data point. It's information. It's the universe giving you feedback saying, hey, this approach didn't work. Try something else. It's not a final judgment on your character, your intelligence, or your worth as a human being. A person who fails an exam isn't a failure. They're a person who needs to study differently. An entrepreneur whose business closes isn't a failure. They're an entrepreneur who learned invaluable lessons for their next venture. Think about how a baby learns to walk. They fall a lot. They wobble, they stumble, they collapse in a heap on the floor. But do we look at that baby and say, "What a failure"? Of course not. We see it as a necessary part of the process. Every fall is a lesson in balance and coordination. Each attempt builds strength. The baby doesn't lie on the floor and think, "Well, I guess walking just isn't for me." They just get up and try again. We need to bring that same grace and understanding to our adult lives. When you stumble, when you fall, remember that it doesn't erase all the effort you've put in. Every single step you took, every hour you invested, every bit of courage you mustered, it all still counts. It's part of your journey, part of your story. Falling doesn't mean you're back at the starting line. It just means you've found a path that doesn't lead to your destination, and now you're better equipped to find the right one. The silence around failure is what makes it so heavy. When we don't talk about it, we let shame grow in the dark. We start to believe we're the only ones who mess up, that everyone else has it all figured out. But that's a myth. Everyone you admire has failed. They've faced rejection, made mistakes, and wanted to quit. The difference is they didn't let failure define them. They chose to see it as a stepping stone. So this series is an invitation to break the silence. Let's talk about our failures not as endings, but as chapters in a much larger story of growth and resilience. Let's learn to look at our setbacks and ask, what is this teaching me? Instead of what is wrong with me, because what failure really means is that you were brave enough to try. It means you stepped into the arena, and that is something to be proud of, no matter the outcome. Remember, you are not your failures. You are the effort, the courage, and the quiet strength that gets back up every single time. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe for more episodes as we continue this journey together. Welcome back to Never Give Up. This isn't about loud motivation. It's about finding quiet strength. Today, we're talking about something we all forget. Small steps still count. We live in a world that celebrates big, dramatic transformations. Overnight successes, massive weight loss, viral sensations. But real, lasting change, it doesn't usually happen like that. It happens quietly in the small, seemingly insignificant moments. It's the single paragraph you write when you don't feel like it. It's the 5-minute walk you take when you're exhausted. It's choosing one healthy snack instead of the whole bag. These moments feel so small, don't they? Almost pointless. Our brains tell us, what's the use? This won't even make a difference. But that's where we get it wrong. Progress isn't always visible. It's not always a number on a scale or a finished project. Sometimes progress is just showing up. It's building a habit, one tiny action at a time. It's the simple act of not giving up, even when you can't see the finish line. Think of it like this: a single drop of water won't carve a canyon, but over time, millions of drops create incredible landscapes. Your small efforts are those drops of water. Each one is a vote for the person you want to become. One small choice might feel insignificant, but 100 small choices. 1,000, that's how you build a new reality. The pressure to be perfect can be paralyzing. We think, if I can't do it perfectly, I won't do it at all. But what if we decided to just show up imperfectly? What if we gave ourselves permission to do a bad workout, to write a messy first draft, to make a simple meal? Showing up imperfectly is 100 times better than not showing up at all. Consistency will always beat intensity in the long run. So, what is one small step you can take today? Just one. It doesn't have to be groundbreaking. It just has to be a step forward. Maybe it's putting on your running shoes, even if you don't go for a run. Maybe it's opening that book you've been meaning to read. Maybe it's just taking a deep breath and acknowledging that you tried. Remember, the progress you can't see is often the most important. It's the strengthening of your resolve, the building of your discipline, the quiet cultivation of your own inner strength. It's the foundation upon which all visible progress is built. So today, honor your small steps. They are not just enough. They are everything. Thanks for listening. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more quiet strength. See you next time. Welcome back to Never Give Up, the podcast that offers not loud motivation, but quiet strength. Today, we're diving into a topic that I think will resonate with a lot of you, the feeling that everyone else has it all figured out, while you're just winging it. I'm calling this one Everyone is Confused, including me. Let's be honest. How often do you scroll through social media or walk into a room and feel like you were the only one who doesn't have a clear map for life? You see people landing their dream jobs, launching businesses, getting married, and it looks so seamless, so planned. It's easy to look at that and think, what am I doing wrong? Why am I so behind? But here's the secret, the one that no one really talks about. Nobody knows what they're doing, really. That person you admire, the one who seems to have it all together. They have moments of doubt. They have days where they feel like an imposter. They have sleepless nights worrying if they're making the right choices. I know I do. This podcast, this series, it didn't come from a place of having all the answers. It came from a place of searching for them, just like you. The truth is, life isn't a straight line. It's a messy, beautiful, unpredictable journey of trial and error. We're all just improvising, learning as we go. Think about the first time you tried to ride a bike. You probably wobbled, you might have fallen, but you got back on. You didn't have it figured out from the start, you learned through the process. Adulthood is kind of like that, but with higher stakes and no training wheels. And that confidence you see in other people, it's not usually a natural gift. It's a skill. It's practiced. It's built brick by brick with every small win, every risk taken, and every failure survived. It's the result of faking it until you make it, of pushing through the fear even when your hands are shaking. People look confident because they've learned to manage their uncertainty, not because they don't have any. They've learned to focus on the next step, not the entire staircase. When I started my first big project, I was terrified. I felt like a fraud. Every day I expected someone to tap me on the shoulder and say, "We made a mistake. You're not qualified for this." But I just kept showing up. I asked questions. I made mistakes and I learned from them. And slowly that terror started to fade, replaced by a quiet competence. Not because I suddenly knew everything, but because I realized that figuring it out is the job. So if you're feeling lost or like you're falling behind, I want you to take a deep breath. You are not alone. You are exactly where you need to be. The journey of figuring things out is the journey of life itself. There's no secret handbook. Everyone is just trying their best, navigating their own confusion with the tools they have. The pressure to have it all figured out is immense, but it's also imaginary. Give yourself permission to be a work in progress. Celebrate the small steps. Acknowledge that you are learning and growing every single day. The most successful and fulfilled people aren't the ones who had a perfect plan. They're the ones who were brave enough to adapt, to learn, and to keep moving forward, even when they didn't know the destination. Remember, the goal isn't to eliminate confusion. It's to get comfortable with it. It's to trust that you have the resilience to handle whatever comes next. You are not behind. You are simply on your own unique path, figuring it out one step at a time. And that's more than okay. It's exactly how it's supposed to be. Thanks for tuning in. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who might need to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe for more quiet strength. Until next time, be kind to yourself. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Never Give Up. This isn't about loud motivation. It's about finding that quiet strength inside. Today, we're kicking off a brand new series, our fifth one, called Ordinary People, Real Strength. And the theme for this series is quiet resilience. We're going to shift the focus away from the highlight reels you see on social media, away from the idea that you need to be famous or achieve something monumental to be considered strong. Instead, we're celebrating the unsung heroes of everyday life, people just like you and me. We're talking about the strength it takes just to survive, the courage it takes to show up for your own life, day in and day out, especially when things are tough. Think about it. We're so often told to chase the extraordinary. We see these huge success stories and think, that's what strength looks like. But what about the strength of a single parent working two jobs to provide for their kids? Or the resilience of someone battling a chronic illness who still gets out of bed each morning? Or even just the quiet determination of a student pushing through a difficult semester, feeling overwhelmed but not quitting? That's the kind of strength we're going to explore. It's not flashy. It doesn't get a million likes. It's the quiet, persistent, internal power that keeps you going. It's the courage of ordinary days. It's the simple, profound act of not giving up on yourself. Over the next few episodes, we'll dive into stories and ideas that honor this kind of resilience. We lines talk about why you don't need to be extraordinary to be worthy of respect and admiration. We'll look at how just getting through the day can be its own form of bravery. Because real strength isn't always about winning the big battles. Sometimes it's about enduring the small ones over and over again. This series is for anyone who has ever felt like they're just treading water, for anyone who feels unseen in their struggles. I want you to know that your fight matters. Your persistence is powerful. Showing up for your life, with all its messiness and challenges, is an act of incredible courage. We often think we need to change the world to make a difference. But what if the most important world to change is your own? What if the most heroic thing you can do is to keep putting one foot in front of the other, even when the path is rocky and you can't see the destination? This isn't about lowering the bar. It's about redefining what strength truly means. It's not always about climbing mountains. Sometimes it's about having the fortitude not to be buried by the weight of the day. It's the subtle, powerful choice to keep trying, to keep believing in your own capacity to endure. So join me for this journey. Let's explore the profound strength found in the ordinary, in the quiet moments of just getting by. Let's celebrate the realness of our lives and find power in our own quiet resilience. Because sometimes the greatest victory is simply refusing to be defeated. Thanks for tuning in. I'm really excited to explore this with all of you. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss an episode of Ordinary People, Real Strength. See you next time. Hello everyone, and welcome back to our Never Give Up series. Today we're diving into a topic I think we can all relate to. What do you do when your motivation completely disappears? You know that feeling, right? One day you're fired up, ready to conquer the world, and the next, you can't even find the energy to start. It's frustrating, and it can make you feel like you've failed. But I want to tell you something really important. Motivation is not a prerequisite for action. Let's be honest, motivation is a wonderful feeling, but it's also incredibly fickle. It comes and goes like the weather. If we only worked on our goals when we felt inspired, we'd probably get very little done. The real secret to long-term success isn't waiting for a lightning bolt of inspiration. It's building the discipline to show up even when you don't feel like it. Think about it. The most successful athletes, artists, and entrepreneurs don't just work on their good days. They have a routine, a system that carries them through the bad days. They rely on habits, not fleeting feelings. So, how do we build this discipline? It starts with small, manageable steps. If you don't feel like going for a 5-mile run, just put on your running shoes and walk out the door. Tell yourself you'll just walk for 5 minutes. More often than not, once you start moving, the momentum builds. The action itself creates the motivation, not the other way around. This is a powerful psychological trick. Our brains love to finish what we start. So the hardest part is just beginning. Make the first step so ridiculously easy that you can't say no. Another key strategy is to reconnect with your why. Why did you start this journey in the first place? Was it to build a better life for your family? To improve your health? To create something beautiful? Your deep-seated purpose is a much more stable source of fuel than day-to-day motivation. Write it down. Put it somewhere you can see it every day. When your feelings of inspiration fade, your purpose can be the anchor that holds you steady. It reminds you that the temporary discomfort of pushing through is worth the long-term reward. It's also crucial to be kind to yourself during these slumps. Berating yourself for not feeling motivated only adds a layer of guilt and anxiety, making it even harder to act. Acknowledge the feeling without judgment. Say to yourself, okay, I'm not feeling motivated today, and that's all right. What's one tiny thing I can do anyway? This approach removes the pressure and makes the task seem less daunting. Remember, progress is not a straight line. There will be dips and plateaus. The goal isn't to avoid them, but to learn how to navigate them. So the next time your motivation goes missing, don't panic. Don't wait for it to magically return. Instead, rely on discipline. Break your task down into the smallest possible step. Reconnect with your core purpose, and most importantly, take that first small action. You'll be amazed at how just showing up, even without enthusiasm, can keep you moving forward. You are far more capable than your fleeting feelings suggest. You don't need motivation to be unstoppable. Thanks for tuning in today. If this resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content on building resilience and never giving up. See you next time. Hello and welcome back to the Never Give Up series. Today, in our 7th episode, we're diving into something incredibly personal and powerful, learning to trust yourself again. It's a journey many of us have to take, especially after a setback, a failure, or a period of intense self-doubt. It feels like you're navigating a fog, doesn't it? That little voice inside, the one that used to cheer you on, is suddenly quiet, or worse, it's become your biggest critic. So, how do you find your way back? How do you rebuild that fundamental trust in your own judgment, your own abilities, and your own worth? The first thing to remember is that this isn't an overnight fix. Rebuilding self-belief is a slow, deliberate process, and that's okay. It's not about flipping a switch, it's about laying one brick at a time to build a new, stronger foundation. The first brick is self-compassion. Imagine talking to a friend who just went through what you did. You wouldn't berate them, would you? You'd offer kindness, understanding, and encouragement. It's time to become that friend to yourself. Acknowledge the hurt, the disappointment, and the fear, but do it without judgment. Say to yourself, it's okay that this happened. It's okay that I feel this way. I did my best with what I knew at the time. This simple act of kindness is the starting line. Next, let's talk about small wins. When our self-trust is shattered, the idea of tackling a big goal can feel completely overwhelming. It's like trying to climb a mountain when you feel you can't even take a single step. So let's shrink the mountain. What is one small, manageable thing you can do today? It could be as simple as making your bed, going for a 10-minute walk, finishing one task on your to-do list, or learning one new chord on a guitar. The size of the task doesn't matter. What matters is that you set an intention and you follow through. Each time you do this, you provide your brain with concrete evidence that you are capable. You are reliable. You can count on yourself. These small wins accumulate, creating a positive feedback loop that slowly but surely rewires your self-perception. Another crucial step is to challenge your inner critic. That negative voice in your head is often a terrible storyteller. It loves to exaggerate, generalize, and focus only on the bad stuff. When it pipes up with thoughts like you always mess things up or you lines never be good enough, don't just accept it as fact. Question it. Ask for the evidence, always. Is that really true? Can I think of a time I didn't mess up? You'll quickly realize that this inner critic is a master of distortion. Counter its negativity with facts. Remind yourself of your past successes, your strengths, and the times you've overcome challenges. You can even write these down in a journal to have a physical record to look back on when doubt creeps in. By actively challenging these negative thoughts, you strip them of their power. As you do this, start paying closer attention to your intuition, that gut feeling. For a while, you might have been ignoring it, thinking your judgment was flawed. But your intuition is a powerful internal guidance system. Start practicing with small decisions. What does your gut tell you about what to have for lunch? Which route to take on your walk? Don't overthink it. Just listen to that first, quiet impulse, and act on it. The more you practice listening and trusting it on small things, the more confident you will become in its guidance for bigger life decisions. It's like strengthening a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger and more reliable it becomes. Finally, remember that you don't have to do this alone. If you're finding it hard to quiet the negativity or to see your own worth, talking to a trusted friend, family member, or a mental health professional can be incredibly helpful. Getting an outside perspective can help you see the blind spots your inner critic creates. If you're struggling, please know that seeking support is a sign of immense strength. Rebuilding self-trust is a quiet revolution. It's a return to yourself. It's a process of forgiving, accepting, and slowly, intentionally choosing to believe in your own resilience and worth. One small win, one kind word to yourself, one moment of listening to your gut at a time. You can do this. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope this gives you a starting point on your journey back to yourself. If you found this helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more content. See you next time. Hey everyone, and welcome back to our Never Give Up series. Today, we re-tackling something that I think a lot of us struggle with, the idea of changing direction. We often hear messages like never quit, push through, and stay the course. And while those are powerful motivators, they can sometimes make us feel trapped on a path that no longer serves us. We start to believe that changing our minds or choosing a new goal is the same as failing. But I'm here to tell you that's simply not true. You're absolutely allowed to change direction. Think about it. When you started on a particular journey, maybe a career, a degree, or even a personal project, you were a different person. You had different information, different experiences, and a different perspective. As we grow and learn, it's only natural that our goals and desires evolve too. Holding onto a path just for the sake of not quitting can be more damaging than making a change. It's like insisting on wearing shoes that are 3 sizes too small. Sure, you're still on your feet, but you're in pain and not moving very effectively. Changing direction isn't a step backward, it's a pivot. It's taking all the lessons, skills, and wisdom you've gained and applying them to a new, more aligned path. Progress isn't always a straight line. Sometimes it looks like a detour, a sidestep, or even a complete U-turn. Each move is part of your unique journey. Imagine a sailor at sea. If the wind changes, they don't just give up and stop sailing. They adjust their sails. They change their course to harness the new wind and continue moving toward their destination, even if the route looks different from what they originally planned. The fear of judgment is a huge reason why we resist change. We worry about what others will think. They'll say I couldn't handle it, or they'll think I'm a failure. But whose life are you living? Yours, or the one you think other people expect you to live? Giving yourself permission to change is an act of self-respect. It's acknowledging your own growth and having the courage to pursue what truly brings you fulfillment and joy. Sticking with something that makes you miserable isn't a sign of strength. It's a sign that you're ignoring your own needs. So if you're standing at a crossroads, feeling stuck or uninspired by the path you're on, I want you to take a deep breath. It's okay. You're not quitting. You're progressing. You're choosing a new direction, and that is a brave and powerful move. It's a testament to your ability to adapt and grow. Your past efforts weren't wasted. They were the foundation that brought you to this new, exciting starting point. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope this helps you see that changing your path is not just okay, It's a beautiful part of the journey. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear this message. See you next time. Hello and welcome back to our Never Give Up series. This is episode 9, and today we're tackling a big one, doing it scared. Have you ever put off a dream, a project, or even a simple conversation because you were waiting for that magical moment when you finally felt confident enough? You told yourself, I'll start when I'm ready. If that sounds familiar, then this episode is for you. Let's talk about a powerful idea, courage without confidence. We often think these two go hand in hand, that you can't be brave unless you feel 100% self-assured. But that's a myth. Real courage isn't about the absence of fear. It's about taking action despite the fear. It's about your heart pounding, your palms sweating, and still taking that first step. Think about it. The bravest moments in life rarely happen when we feel completely secure. They happen when we're stepping into the unknown, risking failure, and pushing past our comfort zones. The truth is, you don't need to feel ready to begin. This is a game changer. The feeling of readiness is often a mirage. We think it's a destination we need to arrive at before we start the journey. In reality, the journey itself is what prepares you. Confidence isn't a prerequisite for starting. It's a byproduct of starting. You build confidence by doing, by trying, by making mistakes, and by learning from them. You don't find the courage to speak in public by reading books about it. You find it by standing up and speaking, even if your voice shakes the first time. So, how do we actually do this? How do we take action when we're terrified? The first step is to redefine your goal. Instead of aiming for a perfect, flawless outcome, just aim to start. Give yourself permission to be a beginner. Your first podcast episode might not sound professional. Your first painting might not be a masterpiece. Your first business pitch might be clumsy, and that's okay. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is participation. Break your big, scary dream into the smallest possible step. What is one tiny thing you can do today? Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Is it sending one email? Writing one paragraph, making one phone call? Do that one thing. The second step is to acknowledge the fear but refuse to let it drive. Imagine fear is a passenger in your car. It can sit in the back seat and complain all it wants, but it doesn't get to touch the steering wheel. You are the one in control. You can hear the voice that says, "What if you fail?" And you can answer back, "But what if I fly?" Shift your focus from the potential negative outcomes to the potential positive ones. What could you gain? What could you learn? How might your life change for the better if you just take this one small step forward? And finally, remember that you are not alone in this feeling. Every successful person you admire has felt scared. Every hero you look up to has faced moments of intense doubt. They just didn't let that doubt stop them. The difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who don't is often just a willingness to act in the face of fear. So, what is that thing you've been waiting to feel ready for? I challenge you today to take one small, imperfect, scary step towards it. That's where the real magic happens. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this helps you find the courage to do it scared. If you found this helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more. We'll see you in the next one. Hello and welcome back to our Never Give Up series. Today, we're talking about something crucial, something that often gets lost in the noise of motivational quotes and hustle culture. Never giving up, but doing it in your own way. We're constantly bombarded with images of success. The entrepreneur who wakes up at 4 a.m., the athlete who trains for 8 hours a day, the artist who creates non-stop. Their stories are incredible, truly inspiring. But here's the thing, their path isn't your path. Trying to copy someone else's journey, step for step, is like trying to wear shoes that are 3 sizes too small. It's painful, it's unnatural, and eventually, you'll just have to stop. Giving up doesn't always look like throwing in the towel. Sometimes it looks like burnout, It looks like exhaustion from trying to live up to an ideal that was never meant for you. The real strength in never giving up isn't about brute force. It's about adaptability and self-awareness. It's about finding your rhythm. So, what is your pace? Are you a sprinter or a marathon runner? Maybe you're more of a hiker, enjoying the scenery, taking steady steps, and knowing that the view from the top will be worth it, no matter how long it takes to get there. There's no right or wrong answer. Your pace is your own. The world might tell you to hurry up, to go faster, but only you know the rhythm that keeps your fire lit without burning you out. And let's talk about strength. Strength isn't just about pushing through pain. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is rest. It's taking a day off when you feel overwhelmed. It's saying no to a commitment you don't have the energy for. It's pivoting your strategy when something isn't working. This isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's preserving your energy for the long haul. Remember, a car can't run on an empty tank, no matter how powerful the engine is. Think about it this way. There are a million ways to climb a mountain. Some people take the steepest, most direct route. Others take the winding path with a gentler slope. Some might even camp halfway up to acclimatize. They all have the same goal: reach the summit. None of these ways are inherently better than the others. They're just different. The important thing is to choose the path that aligns with your own strength, your own endurance, and your own style. This applies to everything: your career, your creative projects, your fitness goals, your personal growth. If the mainstream advice to hustle 24/7 makes you want to hide under the covers, that's okay. Maybe your path involves working in focused, productive bursts, followed by periods of deep rest and reflection. Maybe your never give up moment is deciding to go part-time to pursue a passion project slowly and sustainably. The most resilient people aren't the ones who never fall. They're the ones who learn how to get up in a way that works for them. They listen to their bodies, they honor their own needs, and they define success on their own terms. So, I want to leave you with this challenge. Take a moment this week to check in with yourself. Are you running someone else's race? Are you trying to live up to a version of never give up that's draining your soul? If so, give yourself permission to adjust, find your pace, honor your strength. Redefine the journey in your own unique way. Because not giving up is about sustainability, not just intensity. It's about being able to show up for your dreams day after day in a way that feels authentic to you. Thank you so much for listening. If this resonated with you, please leave a comment below and share how you reach choosing to never give up in your own way. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more conversations like this. We'll see you in the next one.